Jim Breuer.
Jim Breuer. Jim Breuer.
Jim Breuer. There we go. All right.
What's up, Mike?
Jim, what's happening, man?
Whew, you're happening. Look at you, Florida man.
Dude, I am absolutely loving it here.
Right? I'm starting to see a tan on me. I'm really turning into George Hamilton. You don't even know who that is, but some of my audience knows.
I know who George Hamilton is, yeah.
I think I'm turning into the tan guy. I mean, this is weird. Well, no. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. I need some work, so.
You need some work, but you just got there, so don't worry.
I'm getting there. Yep.
So, you had a good weekend. You had a good week, all that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've probably been on more bike rides in the past week than I have in the past 10 years. So, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I have a lot of people come this week. My youngest one graduated high school. And so because we have a lot of people flying here, so it's going to be a little bit of a madness week. But before we get into that, I had a really great weekend. And even before we get into that, I have guests coming of Clay Clark here, of Jason Scoop, a couple other phone calls we'll get to, but real quick class to show you how you're manipulated. Okay, take away who this person is. Take away who this person is. I'm going to show you a video clip. Okay. And the video clip is a person. Don't look at him. Don't label the person. Think of no labels. All right. 0 labels. If you look at it for what it's worth, all just people. One person's trying to speak about something. Another person's trying to disrupt it and is pretty aggressive about it, whatever. Even I shouldn't be saying that. I don't want to put in words to make you think. I'm going to show the video, and then I'm going to show you how each headline of a newspaper completely makes you think of that video. Like it tells you, it literally lies. So, and I try to prove this to people. I go, just a headline can confuse you and create a story. Oh, that's not true. Yes, it is. If I say man across the street terrorizes the neighborhood, you imagine there's some whack job out in the street. Maybe he's got a gun, but he's he's got the place on lockdown. You don't know any of the story. None of it. So watch this video.
Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Hey, please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
I'm a congressman.
Can you tell this guy? Can you tell this guy?
Talk, then I'll come talk to you privately.
Can you tell this guy? But you can't ask. You can't answer the questions that he has.
No, I can answer the question.
Okay.
Listen, I
What is
respect
your
you
name?
first. I'm Clay Higgins. I represent South Louisiana.
Clay Higgins.
All I'm asking
Okay.
you to do is just peacefully stand by with your camera, and I promise you, look at me. I'll come talk to you straight up. I'll answer all your questions. Fair enough?
Do you know about his family and his endorsement?
Yeah, I'll answer that when we talk.
Okay.
Stop that. Okay. Okay. Now, just hold it right there. First of all, the media is not even showing that clip. He made a deal with this individual. The individual kept approaching the podium, right? I don't know about you, but if someone's approaching my stage, if I'm on stage and they don't like me, or it's a heckler and they keep approaching me, I don't know what they're capable of, and it freaks me out. And there's no security there. There's no police officers there. So you have to take matters in your own hand. That's the reality of this situation. The individual, the man goes, hey, I'm Clay Higgins. And he agreed. He goes, I will answer your questions. I will answer your questions after that, okay? And the guy says yes. So they made a deal. Hey, you want to sit here, run, approach the podium because you want to talk about this person, something else besides what they're talking. Got you. I'm looking you in the eye. I'm looking you, one human to another, man to man. I promise I will talk to you about all this when this is over, when you let her speak, okay? And the individual says, yes. The media does not show this clip. They show the following clip. Keep playing. This is how these demons work, man. They're professional liars. Professional, edited, funded salespeople, newscasters. They're all trained to lie to your face. Continue. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You don't even have to, this doesn't even matter. I don't even want you to read this part. Just think of the
Talk about your divorce. Did it have anything to do with giving food poisoning to Shooter's Bar and Grill? Just a question about your divorce, please. Can you please stop touching me, sir? What is your name? What is your name, sir? What's your name, sir? Get off me. Get off me.
You're on me, sir.
You're on me. You're on me. You're touching me. Representative
back.
Representative Boebert, can we hear about your divorce?
You're out. You're out.
Third time.
You're out.
Now watch what he does.
You're out.
Aren't you a congressperson touching me? Get
Yes,
off
sir.
me. You're hurting me.
Yes, sir.
You're hurting me. Get off
sir.
me. Get off me.
Yes, sir.
Clay Higgins,
Pushing it
get off
back.
me. What are you trying to do, Clay Higgins?
Stand by.
You're a U.S.
No
congressman
shoving.
touching
Stand by.
a person.
Calm
You're
down.
manhandling. Get
Calm
off me.
down.
Get off me.
Calm
Calm down.
Get off me.
Calm down.
Get off me.
You need to
calm down.
Get off me.
son.
Calm down, sir. I got him.
Get off me.
I got him.
Get off
There you
me.
go. Go, sir.
Now look, here's different angles.
On day one, Biden made it clear he wasn't fit for the job when his regime brought the United States back into the World Health Organization. The results of Biden's failed foreign policy is absolutely astonishing. The Biden administration plans to surrender U.S. sovereignty to unelected bureaucrats at the World Health
He's
Organization.
hopping around aggressively to get to this woman. Okay? So I don't want to hear, it doesn't matter who they are. If you got someone, this is third time. He already agreed to call. He said, okay, we'll do this afterwards. Agreed. Goes back at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's physically
You're out. You're out.
getting his foot, and you see what I say? He gets right to the face. You don't know if he has a gun. You don't know if he's not. Look at him. He's just moving. I love this guy. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Listen to all the big mouths.
You need to calm down.
Listen to terrorists. That's not protesting. That's being terrorists.
You need to calm down.
They're terrorists.
No, you need.
They've lost their minds.
Why did he get pulled back?
They're
He didn't
uncivil.
get pulled back.
And they've lost their minds. You can clearly see what just happened in that video. Stop it. Stop it. Right? Now, again, if that's at any speaking event, you go, hey man, I don't agree with what you're saying. Okay, well, what are you talking about? This person walked up, if this person walked up to the stage while I'm on stage and I'm telling them, whoa, 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 and people saying what, and they continue, it doesn't matter if they're a congressman, it doesn't matter if they're a senator, it doesn't matter who they are. That is a very unsafe situation. And anyone, because if your emotions are attached to this, then you're not thinking straight. But you just watch the whole video. You watch the whole video. And the ones emotionally attached to, well, you have a right. You don't have a right to be an asshole. You don't have a right to be dangerous and run up to someone repeatedly. No one has a right to be an asshole or a scary individual. Watch what these demons do in the media. Look at these headlines. So what they're doing here, they say Clay Higgins manhandles an activist. That is mind manipulation. That is emotional manipulation. And to me, that should be a crime. That should be a crime, because if you're not calling yourself entertainment and you're calling yourself news media, you just manipulated minds. You are not doing well by humanity. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're a godly man or an evil. That is a disgrace. That is blatant, vicious, disgusting display of lying and painting an evil picture when we just showed you the entire video. Be careful, everyone. It's every headline. Be careful. We need to unite. But in order to unite, you have to see the way these demons play everybody. Professional wrestling. They play you. They play all of us. Be careful. With that said, how's everyone doing? Okay. I feel so much better. God, that stuff, it drives me nuts though. But people need to see, like, oh, okay. You know, some people will still be emotionally attached and whatever. That takes time. So I had an event this weekend in Largo, the Largo Event Center. And Katie did a great job. It was our first time doing our own event on tickets. And we have her real quick. What are you doing? You got Fred?
First of all, I'm in my closet, emulating your closet, figuring that would go over well.
So you did a great job. You did a great job. You had the cop donation in the back. It was a great event. It was a good first gig with us. And then you were hilarious when you're on. I didn't expect that. I'm gonna have to put a timer on you, to be honest with you. You're gonna have a script next time you go up. I'm just like, right now.
Just give me some bullets.
All right, I'll get straight to the bullet points.
Yeah.
So we're whatever. I'm about to do a show, and Kate. Now when we're in a theater or when I'm touring somewhere, usually or if it's a theater that it's run by profit, the person will go like, "Thank you for supporting us," and we have such people coming in the future, and Ray Romano's going to be here, and the blah 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 orchestra, and Rat Revised is going to be here, and then they go, "Thank you very much," and join the show, and then they leave, and then you hear, "Okay, no one videotape and take pictures." And then they're like, "Are we ready to start the show? Please welcome." Katie goes up. And Katie's a classic example of when you're in front of people, how people can lose themselves like that. People are like, how do people sell their souls? Oh, it's really easy. Katie could have easily sold it that. It was real easy. All she needed was lights, walk on the stage, a crowd, and music. And she walked out there. It's like, it's like, hey, I see you. I see you. I see you. You hear that? You hear that? And I'm sitting there watching, going, is she doing a routine? Like, where's she going with this? It's like, we are here, and you know what? We need some laughter. Yeah, we need some laughter. What the hell's going on? It was and you were like 10 minutes. You were like, and another thing, I bought this brand new car. Me and my husband, we got married 4 years. Should I go to husband? I'm not the greatest husband in the world. Let me tell you something. When we met each other 4 years ago, it was one of the hardest times I've ever in my life. It was as soon as COVID hit, things were going down. I needed house repairs. And, I prayed to God, and then God helped me do this, and he sent my husband. And I don't know at the time, but I would have been. I'm sitting there going, what is going on right now? I'm not going to. She's doing another 10 minutes. And then carrying the bag, and this guy's been a cop. I know since we were 6 years old. Charlie, I love your family. Your family's better. I feel you. I feel you. Turn the music up. Are you?
Oh, it was so much fun. It was just so much fun. We were just so excited to have you.
I know you were hot.
Imagine the build-up, right? We're seating all these fun
up.
people and having so much. Everybody's so excited to be there. Yeah, it was fun.
You even did your production team. You did when I toured Metallica before they went on stage. They'd always do a circle, do like a little thing. You did that, but you're like, everyone got we're here for an incredible time. The world needs laughter. We need to unite together. Like, wow, this chick's wild. But it was you sent out a really cool, vibrant, fun energy, and I appreciate what you did. And I just wanted to tell you that. And you were setting up. We're going to talk details for the True Brew weekend.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get into that. And from what I understand, we're looking good. Tickets are selling good.
We're looking really good. I mean, just with your kind of push, Jim, we've got we're 25%. We're 2 weeks in. We're over 25% sold out. And the tickets where we're going to be doing the silent auction on the roof, those are the ones that are going first. We're just amazed. Your fans are some of the most wonderful people. We've had great conversations via email and over the phone with them because they're coming down for a week.
Right. So, and you've been talking to the Patreon, a couple of the Patreon ones too.
Yeah.
And, what a group. I zoomed with them last night. They're like, we might come down Friday, Jim. Are you around?
I know. They're like, let's plan something. I'm like, okay, we'll do more.
You my wiffle ball? What? Play wiffle ball, and then we'll watch a movie, and we'll ride bikes. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll start these bike tours in the middle of the night where you gotta like catch a buzz or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, they have those.
I'm gonna have to take out more insurance, though.
Yeah, they have like the hovercraft stuff you can rent downtown Sarasota.
I wouldn't do that sober. Wouldn't do it sober. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about the True Brew weekend that Katie's putting together with her husband and her production team and all that jazz. What's that hotel?
So the hotel is the Art Ovation, downtown Sarasota. It's a Marriott brand hotel. It's very different than your standard hotel. The inside has got all sorts of memorabilia and current artwork from artists and performers.
Cool. So it's funky.
It's funky, and it's all about performance, performing artists and things like that. So it's cool. It's really cool.
Well, we're excited about it. Have a good one. Stay out of trouble, and we shall talk to you soon. Later. Katie.
Okay. Bye, Jim.
Bye. She's adorable. Her and her husband are good people, but yeah, that beginning was pretty funny. I want to get into. I know we're supposed to call Joe real quick, but I don't want to keep my man waiting.
Joe's right here.
Is he really?
He's ready to rock and roll.
Real quick.
Okay.
Joe, was I spot on with Katie? Is that crazy?
Dude,
I was texting you.
Katie, yeah, well, I was waiting to go on, and you were texting me going, what is she doing? Like, I didn't know. Dude, when she went into Whitesnake, did you know that she played me? And I was like, is she gonna start dancing? Like, yeah. No.
I was like, what is going on?
I didn't know. What I love about Katie is what I love about Katie is what you see is what you get. Just so everyone that's watching this, she isn't. Dude, you ready for this? Katie called me this morning at 5:30 in the morning because she's like, she wanted to talk to me about True Brew
weekend
merch ideas.
Oh,
and I was like, but it's 8:30 her time, 5:30 mine. And I'm like, she's like, what's up? Where are you? And I'm like, it's 5:30 in the morning. And she's just fired up.
She's
the best.
She is fired up. We gotta do special merch for that weekend, right?
Yeah, no, we're gonna do a merch, a design for that event, just exclusive to that. And then we got the beer. I don't know if anyone, I don't know if you saw those beer koozies I made that night. Did you see those?
I did see those. Were you given?
No, we sold out of them. Like I brought like
you sold out of
them.
Those?
Yeah, I brought like 60 to see if they would work, and everyone had their beers in them, so that was super cool. I think everyone in Florida loves a koozie. Like Florida and koozie. Yeah. It was great. Yeah, but no, but yeah, dude, Katie, you nailed it, man. She she's the best.
Different note.
Go.
Next time on the road, don't order any more wings. Listen, Fat Jimmy is not doing well. We got to shift. Fat Jimmy's got to shift. I know we went through a stretch where the show's over, have a little dirty martini, order some wings. But I felt so good about myself. And then I was so angry at myself because I would eat, I would exercise, I'm done with my meal for the day. And then me and you, and then we're at the hotel. And next thing you know, there's a martini. I'm like, I don't want it. All right, I'll have one. I don't want it. Maybe one more. I don't want wings. And then what you do, which is really ornery and sneaky. There's some California stuff. You sit there and you like eat your two, and you're like, nah, dude, bro, I'm good. I'm good. And then Fat Jimmy feels guilt leaving food. He can't leave 8 garlic wings on the table.
Those garlic wings crushed.
Yes,
those are so killer.
Detroit restaurant in the Detroit hotel. I forgot the
Westin. Yeah,
in the airport. Unbelievable garlic wings. Yeah, so I eat the whole damn thing. And you did it 2 nights in a row. 2 nights in a row.
All right, I won't do it. Wings. We're juicing from now on. I'm bringing a juicer. We're juicing fat and celery. That's it. We're done.
Jim, I'm trying to jog. I've been spiraling for 2 weeks. So unless you want a good, healthy mind Breuer when we're down here in Tampa and Naples.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
Don't do that to me.
All right, no more wings. No more wings.
Even if I ask, and I'm gonna beg. I'm telling you
right now, when you ask for the piece, dude, your thing is that pretzel thing. You love the pretzel and the cheese.
Yeah, I forgot about that. See,
dude, you love that.
Yeah, no, you're right. I know.
Like you've never done drugs, but I know in your room you break off a little pretzel and you dip it somewhere. Like I know someday if
I hit that hard.
I know someday if I'm looking for you after a show, I'll find you under a bridge with a bunch of people you don't know eating pretzels and dipping it in cheese.
Oh God, it was so good. The big
Jim, who are these? Jim, who are these people? They're cool. They're super cool, bro. These are my friends.
These are my pretzel dipper friends. We're called the Dippers.
Oh my God.
All right,
brother.
Got to get that off my chest. Have a great day, man. Talk to you soon.
Later, bro. Later, you guys. Later.
So, this guest, I owe a lot to. I want to. I have so much thankfulness towards this man because he reached out to me probably about a year ago, maybe more. I remember where I was, and I was going to play a gig up north, and he goes, "Hey man, I think you should play in front of this crowd. I'd like to hire you for this gig." And it's like, it's pretty cool. It's, we're kind of reawakening America up and stuff like that. It's like pastors. And I was like, pastors? And he's like, yeah, it's border patrol and, the frontline doctor, stuff like that. And I was fascinated by it. And I did stand up. I was scared to death the first time because it was like at a church, there were people on the stage. And I tell you what, those audiences are the most, they're so kind. They're so passionate. They're so thankful. They're so thankful. I think that's the 3 top words for them. And I owe it all to this guy, Mr. Clay Clark.
Hi, Jim. How are you, sir?
What are you doing? Always the same. I've never seen you bummed out yet.
I didn't know if this was like a passive-aggressive interview where you ask me a question and then you mute my mic. It was like mainstream media. I didn't know if that's what you were doing.
Did you see the Clay Clark one I showed at the beginning of the show? I mean,
no, I didn't. You have to tell me about it.
So basically, what I want to teach people, and I'll send this to you too, Clay. I want to start teaching people, detach your emotions and just look at it for what it is. So at the end of the day, there's I don't know, congressman is Clay Higgins, Congress. I don't know. So he's at an event. There's people at an event, and they're doing a press conference at DC. Not a big crowd, little group, and they're saying, "Hey, listen, this administration is signing us off to the WHO," and there's one guy that keeps trying to get really close, and he's disrupting, and he keeps working his way to the podium. There's no security, no police, whatever. So after a moment, this guy Clay pulls him to the side, and he calms him down, and he makes a deal with him. He said, "Hey, listen, look at me." He looks him in the eyes. He goes, "Hey, look at me. My name's Clay Higgins. Okay, I will answer all your questions. Just let them speak." And he goes, "I want to know about, X, Y, Z." He goes, "Do you know about it?" He goes, "Yes, I do, and I will answer that for you. I will answer that for you. Just let's do that, okay?" And the guy goes, "Okay, yes." He agrees. Sure enough, 2 minutes later, the guy starts trying to get back, and then he gets pushed away. Then he comes back around the back end to get to the woman. And so then Clay has him and walks him. He's not shoving him. He's not throwing him on the ground. Walks him to get him away. And then it's got to be like 2-3 minutes later before a security guy or an officer shows up. I showed what MSNBC, along with so many other headlines, say. What do you think the headline would say? And there's 2 videos, and they only show one video, and they only show one small part. Hence, how you start riots. But we will.
Well, typically, mainstream media loves to. They throw out an adjective that is the extreme. So they'll usually say something like "triggered far right." Nationalist does XYZ, and they put that. So like every time General Flynn, who's a great friend of mine, every time they feature him in the media, they say disgraced and convicted felon General Flynn, Clay Clark's Tulsa office, or a convicted sex offender President Donald J. Trump. They like to do that. They throw that out there every single time. So I don't know what they put, but I'm sure it was something to radicalize you even before you've read the article.
And that's exactly what they do. And I want to start teaching people that more and more and more. But I also want to, it's comical. If we're just on the street, Clay, right? And I'm walking up to you and your wife is there and I'm with a couple friends. Why would anyone go, "Hi, Clay, this is my right-wing terrorist, animal, divorced, degenerate, bankrupt friend Bill"? Like, what kind of introduction is that? That is what the media does. And I'm calling out. I'm saying, if you claim you are media, define what media is. If you're claiming your news, define what that is. Because if it's to just give you information, then I 100% feel that is a crime on humanity. It is a crime on humanity when you're giving a false image that creates hatred, judgment, and gives you visuals of violence, which I believe MSNBC did.
Well, if you look at the Bible, just as an example, Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 says, "Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves." And I just give people an example in Matthew 7:15, but there's a person I've known for years, Jim. And by the way, the Reawaken America tour isn't something that I wanted to do. It was something I felt like I had to do because I knew in Tulsa, I told my wife, I said, if they do a lockdown in Tulsa, I'm going to turn my building into a church and I'm going to sue the mayor of Tulsa. That's what I'm going to do to keep the city open. And we're going to do church every single Thursday. Well, I didn't know that eventually 1,000 people would show up. And then eventually General Flynn and I got to talking and I said, hey, Flynn, I really feel like we're supposed to do an event where we share the truth at scale and without any reaction time. He goes, I know, but it has to happen through the church. So when that happened, all of a sudden I found myself at these Reawaken America events. That first one before I met you, we had 7 million people that watched it online. 7.1 million people watched it online. 5,500 people were in one building at Rainbow Bible College. And this reporter who I've known forever, Jim, she calls me and she says, Clay, she used to be on my payroll. Jim, she used to be on my payroll. And she says to me, Clay, I would love to interview the general if I could. I honor his military service and I would love to interview. I said, okay. Now, I hadn't read Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 in a while. So I thought, okay, this appears to be a nice person. And she shows up, Jim, not wearing a mask, hugging like it's a high school reunion. Like, it's good to see you. Clay, how are you? There's that camaraderie. And then she says, before the cameras roll, just real quick, this is last minute, Jim. This is like 30 seconds before the interview starts. Before the cameras start, I need to wear a mask for safety protocol. So she puts on a mask. She hadn't been wearing a mask the whole time. So she puts on a mask, and then they bust out the shotgun mic. And for people that aren't used to audio-visual production, this is like the long mic on a stick, like you might see the NFL games. It's like a metal detector mic. So she's like, and she's acting kind of scared now behind the mask. She says, so General Flynn, what makes you think it's safe for people to get together at a time like this when many people are dying in the most deadly pandemic since whatever? That's the question. That's the question. And so he's like, just a moment ago, you weren't wearing a mask. You need to take the mask off because you're perpetuating a lie. What was your question? She says, what makes you think it's safe to gather at a time when people are dying from the most deadly pandemic? He says, it is 100% safe to get together. Then the news headline goes like this. Tonight at Channel Yada Yada, disgraced felon General Michael Flynn says that it's safe to get together and define experts. And they cut to the clip of him and it says, these events are safe. And that's the only B-roll they use is him saying these events are safe. And it says, despite evidence to the contrary, General Flynn continues to reject science and a known member of the blah, 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 blah. And then he cuts one more clip where he's like, I told you it's safe. And that's the entire, so I would say that's the false prophets. Those are people that literally are false prophets.
Yeah, but I've also noticed, and listen, I think I made it very clear. I don't know much of the Bible, my wife's Bible. So I hear from you, but when it comes to God, devil, demon, all that, it is clear as day that they are coming from a very dark, evil place. And I've noticed most people that will buy those headlines, I don't know if I should say this, a lot of them don't have a faith, or they've given up on it, or they walked away from it. Because what I've gotten, which I got to say makes me happier, is not, oh my God, you're the funniest guy in the world. What I like hearing when I know I'm doing my work is when someone goes, hey man, I walked away and I heard a story that you just put out there and it got me back connected. So thank you. And I go, don't thank me, thank him. He told me to do this, so that's what I'm doing. And I think there's a lot of people in that area, Clay, that are still attached. See, hate is a powerful emotion. People underestimate hate. You can hate Donald Trump, and the hate will blind you of love and truth. Like, hate will blind you of truth that's right in front of you. So I like what we need to expose more and more how they do this. But I think there's also this fine line of doing it with a hug, if that makes sense. To
Yeah.
the people that still believe them.
Just real quick. And again, just for people out there who are very clear, Eric Trump, General Flynn, and I are the only three people that have any say in the speakers that come to the tour. I ask every speaker to come. So like Roseanne's going to come to Las Vegas. So Roseanne will be there. We're going to be in Las Vegas on August 25th. And
that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I invited Roseanne. I think that Roseanne will be a great fit. I also invited the late, great Dr. Rashid Buttar, who just passed, and he happened to be a Muslim doctor. I invited you. And the only person who can veto that is General Flynn. That's the relationship we have. It's not contractual. It's a handshake. It's crazy. But Eric Trump and I, we have that relationship. And you know what? We don't watch every single show that Jim Breuer does or every routine that Roseanne does. So to the best of our discernment, we think they're a good fit. And then if anybody has a veto power, we can do that. Well, I'm saying those. I felt like something that was taught to me at a very young age. I was growing my businesses. The businesses were growing. Success was happening. To give you some context, it was America's largest wedding entertainment company. So pray for my soul. I was doing 4,000 weddings a year, 80 weddings per weekend, 80 mothers to the bride. I mean, seriously, my company, DJConnection.com. I haven't owned it for over 10 years, but DJConnection.com. And what would happen is that I would try to tell my staff things like, guys, you got to follow the script. Guys, you got to follow the workflow. You got to follow, because when you build a business, you have a workflow and systems.
Sure.
And some of my staff shockingly wouldn't follow it. So I went to a mentor in my life by the name of Clifton Talbert, who happened to be one of the first African Americans. He was the first African American west of the Mississippi to open a bank. His name is Clifton Talbert. He also introduced the Stairmaster. And he said, if you're going to be honest, you better be funny. And I was, what? And he said, if you're going to be honest, you got to be funny, or at least just a little bit of humor. And so I thought, really, on this tour, the first one we did, people like really woke up, but people woke up to what was going on, the Great Reset, all the corruption, but they were kind of leaving going, hell yeah, brother. It was almost like a Hulk Hogan kind of reaction. Hell yeah. A lot of that. It was just people in the crowd doing the, woo, you know,
we're gonna bring this place back, brother.
Yeah, it was a lot of like Ric Flair in the audience.
We're gonna make industries built again in America.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of that because there was so much pent-up frustration, and so, and I told my wife, I said, I'm on a scale of like 10. If a 10 is you, that funny. If you're a 10, Seinfeld's a 10. I'm like a 7 or a 6. I get it, but I'm not a comedian. So I told
You're getting funnier. You're getting funnier.
Well, as it gets darker, it gets funnier. So I said, we got to bring in a comedian. So I brought you in, and what you're doing is you're waking people up, because if you're going to tell the truth, you better be a little funny. And I just want to bring this up for anybody out there. If you're in front of your Google machine, your DuckDuckGo, whatever you want to do, your search engine of choice, I want you to type in the following 5 things real fast, and you just tell me what's wrong with that. Okay? So this is just an example. Okay? Everybody go to Google and type in World Economic Forum logo 666. Now imagine that you are a graphic designer and the World Economic Forum. Yeah, imagine the World Economic Forum hires you and they say, we want you to make a logo that represents the future of humanity, something that's really going to captivate, inspire, uplift them,
spread love,
cast the vision. And then your designer comes back and says, well, you know, I came up with it's 3 6s in a row, and it symbolizes, 666, but in a loving way. And you're like, who approves that? So it's like the Bud Light commercial. So who approves that? So then, now look this up, folks. The Google Chrome logo is now officially 666. And you might go, what? You look it up. And then Microsoft created a patent for a cryptocurrency that goes in the human body. What?
Yeah.
And the patent publication, look it up, folks, is W02020060606. Now, some homeboy at Congress, this will blow your mind. A guy at Congress gets motivated one day and says, you know what we need to do? We need to write the legislation to force people to put this technology in their bodies. His name was Representative Bobby Rush from Illinois. And he titled the bill H.R. 6666. And the legislation that makes it illegal to not agree with the woke racist ideology is called H.R. 666. And I could do this all day. But what I'm saying is you need to look up.
Are you sure this isn't the new Iron Maiden album cover and lyrics that you're reading?
It's like,
Number of the beast with hell and fire. Do you know that song, Clay?
My music history, I was a DJ. My music history started in about 89.
Listen,
so
here's
you
what we
want
gotta
to
do.
educate me.
Here's what we gotta do. You gotta give me all the stats you just did, and we'll redo Number of the Beast. What I want you to do when we're done, I want you to look up Iron Maiden. This is how I used to learn about faith and the demons behind the curtain and how they work with songs like this. The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. This sounds like a Maiden song. The number of the beast. World Economic Forum to control overall. We gotta write a metal. We gotta redo a Maiden song. This is amazing.
I'm looking this up right now, and I'm putting it on my notes select. That's what happens when people like you give me ideas. I write them down. So let me put this on my to-do list right now. This is the most exciting part of the show.
You're gonna love this song. You gotta put it loud in your ears. Listen to me, Clay. Okay, you're gonna put it loud in your ears, and you blast that thing. And now, just whatever lyrics are doing, we're gonna replace them with everything you just said.
I got it. I'm down.
More. I stand alone. They changed their logo. They changed their logo to 666. The number of the beast.
Jim, let me tell you this. This is crazy, okay? In the Bible, I want everyone to look this up. Assume I'm crazy, okay? In the Bible, the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 13, it says, I know thy works, and where thou... It says, I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is, and thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith. Even in those days where Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth. The Bible tells you in Revelation chapter 2:13 and Revelation 9:11 where Satan dwells, and that's the physical location of CERN. CERN is actually located on top of the physical location where the Bible says, could you imagine you're trying to pick a location for your new home office?
Well, I don't understand what you're saying. You need to tell me. I know what CERN is.
Okay.
So I know what you just said, but like, what do you mean? The devil what?
Well, okay. So wherever you're broadcasting from a closet somewhere, I'm broadcasting from my studio somewhere, right? I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and whenever you buy a property, they disclose the mineral rights. What's underneath you? Okay. And CERN is the world's largest supercomputer. It's powered by the Google quantum computer. Their goal is to recreate the Big Bang and isolate the God particle. Right. Stephen Hawking, the famous atheist, said if they're successful, they may end humanity. That's Stephen Hawking. And so CERN is located directly on top of the exact physical location where St. Antipas was martyred. So in the Bible, a guy by the name of Antipas was martyred. And in the Bible, it says this is where Satan lives. And it's in Revelation chapter 2, verse 13 and 9:11. And the guys at CERN are going, based upon the information you sent over here, Mr. Realtor, I love what we've got. We want to be located on top of where the Bible says Satan's located. And let's put the statue of Shiva, the god of destruction, in front of us just to make it official. That's CERN. And their logo is 666. That's true.
Now, you can't deny. For some of you, maybe listen to Clay going, oh, okay, he's a Bible thumper. Oh, okay, he's a blah, blah, blah. The crazy part is when you actually see these things, it's too much for people to take. They're like, that's not a 6. I go to Hoover Dam and it's like, no one can explain what that statue is. It's the most bizarre statue at that dam site out in Vegas. It's just, well, what is that? It's like some Illuminati dark angel. What is this freaking thing? But we don't even, no one questions.
They're probably just doing it for the kids. They're probably just doing it to help out the kids. It's probably just a way to be creative, to warn them about Satan.
Well, I think we're on to something.
Yeah.
We gotta just keep waking people up. And some people may take a very long time. It may take a very long time. And that's okay.
Jim, listen. This is what happened when the Great Reset happened, okay? And I'm not going to get you kicked off of YouTube. I'm just going to tell people what I did. My wife came to me and she says, "So what are you going to do with the business? You know, because I have 160 clients. That's how I make money. I have 160 clients. They pay me to help them grow their company, and I own businesses. So my wife says, "What are you going to tell your clients to do? And what are you going to do?" Well, Jim, my decision is profound or not as profound as it is. That would affect the lives of thousands of employees because they're on my payroll or they're on the payroll of my clients. And I told my wife, I will do my research. So what I found, this is the first thing I found, is I found that the system, everyone should write this down and look it up. I found that the system and method for testing for, COVID-19 was patented in 2015 by Richard Rothschild. And so I told my wife, because the patent was filed in 2015. Yeah, you can look it up right now. Go to Google right now. Look it up. Everyone type in system and method for testing for COVID-19.
You can't do anything about it. It's just a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's just a fact.
Okay.
It's a fact. And if you look it up, you go, well, it appears as though there's a patent that was filed. But anyway, so I just told my wife, I began researching, Jim, and what I found was that I wasn't a big believer in the Bible up until this Great Reset, because I know so many bogus. I'm not attacking all pastors. I'm just saying I know a lot of bogus pastors and people that say one thing and do another.
I noticed it. The entertainment bleeds in there. Certain ones have shticks.
Right, and I just saw a lot of
whatever. That's fine.
So as I began researching all these things that were happening, I started seeing the CERN logo and the Google logo and Bill Gates patent, and then it occurred to me,
Apple,
right?
Take a bite of the apple. Adam and Eve. Take a bite. That's their selling point. Take a bite out of the apple.
And their famous story that Steve Wozniak, and you and I have never talked about this online or offline. Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs were asked, and everyone should look this up. They were asked, "What was your first transaction?" And they said, "Oh, our first transaction, we sold our first computer system for $666."
Oh wow!
They say that. They say that. What?
Here's when you go back to a patent, okay? Because we don't have a lot more time.
Yeah.
But this is enough for people to just start looking into, whether you believe it or not. Look for the patent that Clay just told you. Okay, you can look it up. Now here's the story of that. So I will tell you this. I know when I started traveling a lot, I mean, I've been traveling for 30 years. Years ago, I started seeing all these new medical. This school now has a whole different medical field, and they're building this new hospital and all these cancer units. And oh my God, here's a whole city being developed and a whole university being developed and all these. So basically, what I find interesting is if I'm in the selling car business, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to buy lots of parking lots and lots of cars unless I know for a fact I'm going to be selling them, or else that'd be a pretty dumb businessman. So I'm not saying, I'm just asking everyone to think, why would you patent something why would you patent a so-called virus or something like that? And we're just going to leave it at that. And you can believe it, you cannot believe it. It could be, you can call it conspiracy, you can do whatever you want.
Jim, I want to bring in one thing. I want to bring in one thing that because it piggybacks to what you said. Before all this craziness pandemic stuff happened, Amazon purchased 100,000 additional vehicles as reported by McKinsey. So you can Google search this right now. You can type in how ALJ, a 75-year-old startup, leads with purpose. That's the McKinsey Sustainability Report. And it's you can type into Google how ALJ, a 75-year-old startup, leads with purpose. So the models that said that 2.2 million people would die from this thing, it's very interesting that the people that funded the creation of the models, Amazon, Microsoft, etc., how they were positioned exactly right to have massive success if we fundamentally transform the way. I mean, it's almost like they were guessing. They've been. So maybe
they hired psychics.
Maybe that's the key to their success. But it's interesting how small business was crushed, big business was rewarded. The tech tyrants got ahead. I just want to say this for anybody out there that hasn't seen you at the Reawaken America tour. If they go to timetofreeamerica.com to come see you, we always let people name their price. I'm not saying that's the way you should do every event. I just do it that way so everyone can afford to see it. And I have no idea what you're going to say. So your performances are the most terrifying.
No, you really.
I have no idea what you're going to say. It's the only event I've ever done where I don't tell any speakers what to say. But with you, it is my biggest concern. And the last one, and you're a master of preparation. Your last performance was truly epic. It's on Rumble, and people need to see it. And people who've seen you multiple times have told me, they said, Clay, that Jim Breuer performance, you can watch on Rumble right now, live from Trump Doral in Miami, Florida. You just go to Rumble and type in Jim Breuer, Miami, Florida. It was rowdy. It was on point, and you could have probably gone for 2 hours, but you got to that drop the mic moment, and I'm like,
I did.
Going to go 2 hours, or is he going to wrap up? It was so fun to watch you, but I was terrified and electrified. It was awesome and scary.
Well, man, I can't thank you enough. I mean, your mom, your family, everyone, and what you included me, and even getting to know a guy like General Flynn. What a great. I almost wish my dad was around, because the two of them would probably end up hands down being great friends. But I just thank you.
Thank you.
And you know, I'm bringing on this other guy. I think you know him, and I think this was the first time you brought him on. And talking about crushing, this guy crushed.
Jason Scoop?
Yes.
Yes, he was. Yes. One of the attendees, one of my longtime clients, heard this guy on YouTube or somewhere, and he said, "You've got to bring him to the Reawaken tour." And again, the one thing that's great about the Reawaken America tour and terrifying is there's no teleprompter. There's no scripts. You can name your price. So you might be sitting next to a multimillionaire or some guy who, woke up in a dumpster yesterday. And we're all there because we just want to know the truth. There's a lot of Democrats up in there. We've had Bobby Kennedy Jr. at the event. There's a lot of libertarians there, a lot of Republicans, a lot of people that don't vote because they're like, I'm not voting uniparty. And they show up, and it is just a blasty blast. And I encourage everybody, go to timetofreeamerica.com. Come join us. You're going to love it.
It really is a good time. I got to say, it's nothing but love and respect and passion. They just want truth. That's all these people want, is truth. That's all they want. And the truth they know, they're tired of being told that it's not the truth. And I think that's pretty much the overwhelming majority of all America, of all humans. Clay, I love you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you. Take care, Jim.
Take care, brother. Yeah, I can't say enough great things about Clay Clark. This guy, now I saw him and I talked about him on the podcast months ago, and I couldn't find him again. Like, I would see him on my Instagram feed and TikTok, and he just did. It was great seeing him, but what attracted me was he would do Sebastian Maniscalco. And I've seen a couple people do them. I would belly laugh, and I mean belly laugh, watching this guy. And then I see him doing Bill Burr. He's walking down the street doing Bill Burr, and I was freaking howling. Like, who is this kid? Like, who is this guy? And then I see his Trump stuff, and look, personally, I don't watch Trump stuff, man. If they're doing impersonation, I'm like, all right, I'm done with impersonation. So I never really looked at it. I saw the wig. I'm like, yeah, but I was like, this guy. So he shows up at the, he's invited to the Reawaken American tour with Clay. And I see him. I was excited to see him. Like, oh my God, it took me so. I'm like, oh my God, Jason's going. Yes. How you doing? Tall kid. And what time you going up? He said 2:10. I said, I want to come watch you. He goes up. He's as Trump, but I gotta say, he's even before he goes on, he's talking to people as him, and his body language, his mannerism, like, wow, he's really morphed into him. And he went on stage, and I gotta listen, I know Daryl Hammond. Daryl Hammond was a master. I've seen guys do great impressions, Rob McNaughty and all these guys. But to be able to do an impression and improv without losing the character and the comedy, because a lot of times you're like, oh, shoot, I don't know how to improv too far with this. But this guy just absolutely knocked it in the 410 mark to the point where I went, I gotta hit it above that. He made me work. He made me work hard, and it was a pleasure. Please welcome Jason Scoop. What's going on?
What's up? I got to tell you, Jim, first off, thank you for having me on. I watch your show all the time. It's an honor to be on here. I love what you do. And I got to tell you, when it comes to improving as Trump, I came up with what I was going to do that morning. I made bullet points, and then I came, and you know how comedians, you watch. Yeah. I wanted to watch the audience, watch the other speakers to get an idea of what I was going to do. But I do a half hour of Trump every week on YouTube. I call it the Donald J. Trump podcast. So that's how I was able to have that muscle to be able to pull up, boom, 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 boom. And obviously I'm in the room, I'm using the crowd, I'm being in the moment. But every week I do a half hour of Trump, the Donald J. Trump podcast. And I don't just talk about what's in the news. I talk about Barron. I'm like, I caught Barron vaping and reacting, things like that. Interpersonal things with Melania and just silly. It's really silly. I have sponsors on the show now, but when we started, I had fake sponsors. Like I pretended we were sponsored by Rap Snacks, which I don't know if you've ever seen Rap Snacks. No. It's those potato chips with wrappers on them. Yeah. Like the Little Boosie Louisiana Heat. It's delicious. It's nutritious. And, that's how I'm able to do Trump like that. But also, shout out to Clay Clark, who was just on here. Gotta love Clay. I'm like you. I'm all about God, especially in the last 2 years, but I don't know much about the Bible. And to hear Clay is like a mixture of Rush Limbaugh and Billy Graham put together. He's like, well, ladies, if you look at Luke 7:35, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to write notes down. I gotta look that up too. It's like, well, he's got the radio energy with like the pastor knowledge. Love that guy.
I do too, but I'm like, wow, Luke.
Yeah,
I'm already lost.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up.
That is, yeah. Well, that's really, you know what? Well, that makes sense. I'm gonna have to check that out. You see, I shouldn't tell you what to do. It just reminds me of SNL, like how they're missing the boat. You can literally do the Donald Trump show on SNL weekly, 3-minute routines. And I think a funny part of it too is always he gets interrupted by either booers or someone calling him racist, some kind of, it's okay, let him, whatever it is, it's all part of the freaking show. He has his guest Barron and all that. Dude, it baffles. I'm so glad you're doing stuff like that, because how are you not touching the obvious when it comes to comedy? How is Biden not on SNL every day? How is Kamala Harris not? How is this? The guy who's a transgender. I'm sorry, but that's funny.
It's hilarious.
The head of health is a man wearing a dress. They should tell you like how you should be juicing or like whatever it is.
Right.
It's comedy gold.
It's so great. But that's why I'm doing it on my own. It's like so many people, they sit around and they wait. When is SNL going to call? When is this agency going to call?
You don't need them.
Exactly. I started doing it on my own, and, things are going really well. Especially, I really hit when the indictment happened. I was outside the courthouse. I had one video get 5 million views. I had another video get 7 million views. The indictment really put me on the map. And everything's just been growing from there. And I got to say, I have a friend who's like, well, Jay, we got to strategize. What are we going to do next? Where are we going to go next? And I say to him, look, funny led me here. Funny is going to lead the way. I just want to keep being funny. And all these crazy opportunities that are happening, the Reawaken America tour, these things. And I just rung the NASDAQ bell because an erectile dysfunction company hired me as Trump. Make America hard again. Now I'm at the NASDAQ bell. And I'm saying, I'm just sort of rolling with the punches. And as long as I stay true to myself and be funny, and also I have opinions, I have political ideas, but I put them in the funny comes first. The funny has to come first. Right. And then how I feel and everything might come through it. Some people might pick up the coins.
Sure. Well, I got to tell you, man, you're in a great spot, and I always found the key was not to enjoy, just like you said with your friend. I have a friend, still have a friend. We gotta do this, and I always go, listen. No, we're living this moment right here, right now, and it's I'd even know you before Trump. I mean, I was already a fan, so you already established that you're funny and you can do impressions.
Yeah,
and you can be funny without the impressions.
You know, it's like he liked it. All right, man. Have you heard about this? I'm talking to Jim Breuer. I'm talking to Jim. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, I actually, and I co-wrote this with a friend of mine, Neil Berliner. I'm putting out on Memorial Day. It's called Comedian President. So it's going out on YouTube, and it's me doing all my other impressions.
Okay.
Like they're all running for president. So that's another thing I'm doing to, to keep people.
We'll keep an eye on it. You got to send it our way, man.
I will
send it our way. You know what? You look like you're enjoying the moment. And I'm super stoked for you. Like, you know what? I got to be honest with you. I saw the adrenaline rush that you had when the show was over. Like when you finished your spot. And what was interesting, I call it the hot chick syndrome. It's, you go in there, you're good looking, but then they see that and they're like, I want to talk to that shit. You came on the stage and they were on you like, here, we want to do an interview. We want to do an interview. And it's, and I saw you stayed in character for another freaking, oh my God, hour and a half. I only saw an hour. Like, this guy, they're just milking him.
It was definitely,
you loved it.
It was definitely a little exhausting.
Oh, I can see that.
Because they wanted Trump, so I gave him Trump. But it's also, keep in mind, I'm on Cameo, and people order me to do Trump, wishing them a happy birthday, and it's the day before Mother's Day. So I have like 80 cameos to do, which I ended up doing on the property. I'm at Trump Doral. I'm like, this will look good. Welcome to the Donald J. Trump Ballroom. And I'm like, happy Mother's Day to Mary. We love Mary, and da 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 da. So it was taxing, but I was able to get it done. And
good.
Yeah.
Well, keep enjoying yourself. I hope I see you at the next.
Oh yeah, I'm there. And
in Vegas?
I'm in Vegas, and I saw that they're turning the freaking frogs gay. Mr. Alex Jones is on there, and I was excited to hear about that because I've been following Alex for years. I don't know how you feel about Alex, the audience, or you.
He's got a good batting average.
The man is one of the most legendary broadcasters of all time.
Good batting average.
Yeah,
got a good bat. I always look at the batting average.
Yeah, and the frogs really were turning gay.
What's that?
The frogs really were turning gay.
Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Oh, that was one of his most famous lines. He goes, I don't have a problem with gay people, but I have a problem with the government putting pesticides in the water that are turning the freaking frogs gay. Yeah, that's one of his most iconic lines. And
I think I just saw that. I take that back. I'm almost positive I just saw, and he does it very animated, right?
They're turning the freaking frogs gay. But it turned out that the government really was putting pesticides in the water. Now, the frogs were not necessarily turning homosexual, but they were changing. They were like the male frogs were becoming female.
Wow.
So,
yeah,
that's pretty close. But either way.
Yeah. Either way.
It's gonna be a great 2 days. Roseanne's gonna be there. You're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait.
It's gonna be good, man. We'll talk to you out in Vegas if I don't see you before that. Sure. Check out what's the Instagram and all that jazz to watch.
Oh, Instagram is at Jason Scoop. TikTok is at Jason Scoop Comedy, and YouTube, the home of the Donald J. Trump podcast, and soon coming out, Comedian President is at Jason Scoop Comedy.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too, man. Thanks for having me on.
He's a good soul. He's a good soul. He's just, I like guys like that. I like guys that are just good souls and things are happening for him. And he worked hard to get there and he's using the internet. He's doing what he can. And boy, I watched with my own 2 eyes him just crush. It was so funny. And here's the thing too. You can even hate Donald Trump, but you can't deny funny. Funny is funny, whether you like him or not. You should check him out. All right. So I don't know about you, but I had a good time today. And the overall message, to be honest with you, is yes, we do need to laugh and we do need the unity. All right. Now, when I kicked off this thing, even Clay, and I'm on, that's another thing. It's just, I don't mind. And I'm trying to get some enemies on here, by the way, because I want all sides heard. Like you pass, I've already reached out to some fans who are like, you're spreading misinformation. I heard that. You're misinformation about transgender. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What are you referring to? I said, why don't you just come on the show? Oh, January 6th. Oh, okay. All right. They're emotionally attached. If you're emotionally attached to headlines, emotionally attached to politics, emotionally attached to your party, you got to detach your emotions so you can see more clearly. And when you see clearly, first it's a little shocking, but after a while, then you realize, okay, I didn't see it before. Now I see it. How do we make life better? And we're going to make life better. And like I showed you up front, blatant lies, trying to put deception into your eyes. They put vision. You had these activists going, your words mean violence. No, the news words mean violence. Read those headlines again and tell me you don't visualize violence before you even look at the video or read the article. That is their game. And then they send out their minions to scream what they are doing. And the more you recognize that, then you understand their war tactics. Because they clearly declared war on all of us. Our spirit, our soul, they've declared it. Why else would you make headlines like that? Don't tell me it's to sell a paper or to get a click. Even if it's that, then that's evil. That's bad intentions. That's gross. That's not going to make humanity better. Love is going to make it better. And not having false idols, and not believing everything you see, and not believing everything you read. You are built perfectly. Your mind, your soul, your spirit, your faith, it's all there. You just need to wake it up a little. That's all. You guys have a great weekend. Thanks for hanging out in the Breuniverse. Had fun today. Take care, Mike. Take a look around and what do you see?
Hey, this is Jim Breuer, and I got my own Patreon page, and hopefully you'll check it out. Live comedy concert streamed once a month. Weekly, you host your own podcast, and you interview me. Early access to the Breuniverse podcast every single week, and have bonus footage and bonus segments. I promise you I'm not going to let you down. Go check out my official Jim Breuer Patreon page, and I'll see you there.
No one has a right to be an asshole.